All right, Shalom Akim. I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Harakai, Kodash. Also, I want to give double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone, Ruel. And I want to say peace and blessings, salutations to the hopefully elect. All right, Zahab Spirit went Judah of the GMS Mississippi camp. All right, today I want to go into a lesson entitled Jake is a captive bred lion. And today what you've just seen is basically a circus act where they have tame lions, man. All right, and something that I noticed about Jake in my assessment with Jake is in basically the Southern Kingdom, but you know, at you know, at the most the entire nation, but starting with the Southern Kingdom, Jake is a captive bred lion, man. All right, so from there I'm going to get Deuteronomy. I'm going to get Jeremiah chapter 2 verse 14. All right, it says Jeremiah chapter 2 verse 14. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? All right. So the question is asked, is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? And why did it separate it and say a homeborn slave? What makes a homeborn slave so distinctive from a regular slave? So I went into the etymology of that word homeborn, all right, which goes back to Bayath, okay, Strong's H1004, Bayath. Then I went down to Jensenius, Hebrew Chaldee Lexicon. I hear read full article. Okay. I'm going to let it load up. And I'm going to scroll down to where it says Jeremiah 2 and 14 for homeborn. It says a servant or slave born in the house, and for that reason of more sure fidelity. Okay. It says a servant or slave born in the house. What is the house that Jake, or the so-called Negro, was studying in Native American, but ultimately the so-called Negroes? What is it? What is the house that they're born in? They're born in captivity, because we'll be considered, I don't know, the fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth generation of captive bred animals, so to speak, captive bred slaves. Okay, anyone could tell you that an animal that's born into captivity is different from an animal out in the wild, and a person that's born into servitude is different from a person that's forced into servitude, man. Okay. And one may ask, how are we slaves? You know, I get to work, I have my freedom, I can buy me a PlayStation, I can buy me an Xbox. How am I a slave? But the key element of slavery is not necessarily brute force. That's not what defines slavery. One of the key elements that defines slavery is dependency. Who's depending on who for survival? And from there, I'm going to go to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, Salak, in the 48th verse. It says, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which Yahweh shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. All right. But the key element, he said, the key point, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies. So you have to go through another man's power structure for hunger and in thirst and in nakedness, meaning you have to go through another man's power structure, all right, to eat, drink, and clothe yourself, man, and in want of all things, all right? And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee, man, all right? So the key element that makes slavery is the state of dependency, all right? If Esau told us to leave America, y'all want to be Israelites, leave America, or y'all want to be, y'all want justice, have justice in your own land, and he allots us a certain amount of land, Jake not going to survive, man. Jake doesn't know how to sustain himself outside of the American power structure, man. Therefore, Jake is a captive bred slave, man. He was born into captivity. And going back to Deuteronomy, I keep saying Deuteronomy, but going back to Jeremiah 2 and 14, the definition for homeborn, going back to the Hebrew bayath, okay, it says a servant or a slave born in the house, and for that reason of more sure fidelity, man. Or fidelity meaning loyalty, man. Okay? Fidelity meaning loyalty, which I could get it anyway since I already have it. It says fidelity, faithfulness to a person, cause, or belief, demonstrated by continuing loyalty and support. Loyalty, allegiance, obedience. All right. Does not the average Negro, the average so-called Negro, West Indian, and Haitian going all the way down to the so-called Hispanics, are they not obedient to the American system? All right. Or do they challenge the American system? Do they challenge the American thought? They don't, man. Not collectively. And it says allegiance. Now, what happened during the what do you call it? The national state anthem, man. Jake was taking a knee. They didn't want to pledge allegiance, all right, to the American flag. And what happened? They got punished for it, man. All right, the jobs, a lot of the jobs was put on the line, man. Okay. All right, so they would not pledge allegiance. Here, fidelity means allegiance, but the average Israelite subscribes to the American mindset, man. Okay. Going back to Jeremiah 2:14, once again, for homeborn, all right, it says, Jeremiah 2:14, once again, a servant or slave born in the house, and for that reason of more sure fidelity. All right. So going back to the analogy with the lion, all right, if you look at a lion, his natural instincts is to hunt. Okay? His natural instincts is to hunt. But when you watch a captive bred lion, man, okay, they're not hunting. They're inside of a cage, man. All right, here's a topic right here. Back to the wild, how to teach a captive lion how to hunt. But when you put a lion inside of a cage and you have some so-called white woman feeding him milk out of his baby's bottle and he's rubbing against the cage because he thinks that's his mother, that's a captive bred lion. That's this 400-pound animal is not genetically hardwired to be drinking milk out of a baby's bottle, man, and being rubbed on his mane by some Edomite woman who in the natural world is nothing more than food, man. All right. Just as it's not in our nature to be these natural, basically alpha males of the planet Earth, okay, clocking in for work, man, or selling dope, man. Okay. We're outside of our nature, man. You see? Ecclesiastes 10:6, if it'll take me to it. We're outside of our essence as people, man. Our essence as a nation. All right. Ecclesiastes 10:7. I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth, man. So this is King Solomon saying that he saw servants upon horses. Who are those servants upon the horses? It's Esau. It's that so-called white man in that damn circus making an ass of us in his circus, man. All right. So you can say it like this. You got Jake in the field working those physical, laborious jobs. That's a slave, the field slave. And you got the corporate Jakes. Those are house slaves. But then you got the Jakes in the entertainment world. Those are circus slaves, man. All right, what did they call it back in the time of the Romans when they wanted to distract the masses? They called it bread and circuses, man. Who was in those damn circuses? In a lot of cases, it was us because we are the source of entertainment on the planet Earth, man. So that lion in the circus was like Jake in the football field, Jake in the music industry, man. All right. You think LeBron James was genetically hardwired to run up and down a basketball court and put a ball in a hole? You think that's why he looks the way he does? Nah, but he's a captive bred slave, man. We're still here. Okay. Once again, Ecclesiastes 10:7. I have seen servants walking upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth, man. All right, but Christianity told us that we're supposed to feel bad for one in rulership, man. We're supposed to be equal. But are we equal in status with the so-called white man? Nah, Christianity was a tranquilizer that pacified us as the lions of the planet Earth, man. The nature of a lion is sovereignty. A lion's mentality is that he runs everything that his eyes can survey, man. Why don't we have that mindset, man? Because Jake has become captive, bred lions. Hence the scripture in Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 24. Chapter 2, verse 14. Asking the question, is Israel, well, I could wait till it pulls up. Is Jeremiah 2:14. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled, man? Okay. So, that's the point, man. Jake is a captive bred lion. Jake stays tamed through Christianity. America is nothing more than that church within the penitentiary that the inmates had a luxury to go to, man. But that keeps the inmates passive and tranquilized, man. Okay? But, with that, I hope you brothers are edified. We got to come up out of that mental captivity, man. All right, to come out the physical captivity. But with that, I hope you brothers are edified. To the next lesson, shalom.